Welcome everyone to episode. We're just going to call this one episode number Valerie.
I like it.
It doesn't need an episode number.
Perfect.
This is it's March 16th, the Wednesday after the WACO Annual Charity Open. My name is Anthony, joined as usual by Eric McCabe, AJ Risley, behind the curtain, Danny Lindahl, and behind the screen.
That's right.
On the other side of the screen for us is not just the YouTube chat. We also have the 2022 WACO Annual Charity Open FPO champion, Miss Valerie Mandujano.
Yay.
Hello, everyone.
Val. So do the people chant Val, or do they go like all
Valerie.
Mandujano.
Valerie.
I think it was more a lot of Val I heard.
Okay.
Val.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you prefer? I guess would be a good question.
Did you not listen to our interview with her last week, Eric?
No, I didn't.
We've established
I don't have a preference.
she prefers Val or Valerie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just the whole
I
thing.
heard some people go for like the dramatic Valerie and like dragged it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, they were committed to that one. But
That's
I like
cool.
it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I feel like that makes sense. If you're trying to squeeze it into a chant or something, like Val fits better,
Mhm.
right?
For sure.
But then if you're just like excited, like Valerie, because you wouldn't just, Val. It's kind of short. But if you're saying like, let's
Too
go,
short,
Val.
yeah.
Let's go, Val. Yeah.
Okay, two things. I'm just waiting for the dynamic discs open. People will either have like vuvuzelas that just go Val, Val.
Oh my gosh.
Either that or in the bleachers they'll be going like, here we go, Valerie, here
There
we
you
go.
go. That fits.
Oh shoot.
You know what we need?
You just wait.
You know what we need at disc golf tournaments is like, people bring signs to like sporting events and stuff. We need the people that just blow up the huge faces.
Oh yeah.
And we just need that.
Like the one of mine in Derek's office.
Yeah, we just need like different Huck faces.
Yeah.
We're
gonna make
my
that
cousin
happen.
wanted to do that.
Gosh.
We're gonna make that happen. We're gonna what are those the fatheads they call them that the
Fatheads,
NFL
yep.
does? Yeah, we're gonna.
Val,
We need
please
to make
encourage.
those for our team.
Yeah, tell your cousin that they have my full support, and please encourage this specifically at the Dynamic Discs Open,
Yes.
but really anywhere
Yes,
is
please.
fine.
Nah, dude. Pro Tour is going to shut that down so quick.
Nope.
Yeah.
As long as I can get like
Not
a
in
couple
Emporia,
clips
they're
of it.
not.
Yeah, we'll make it happen some way, somehow. We will find a place where it's accepted.
That's right.
But we're not here to talk about the Dynamic Discs Open, at least not
Not
at this exact moment. We are here to specifically talk with Val about, most notably, your win at WACO last weekend. This was your first big win, or your first Elite Series win. I shouldn't say your first big win. It was your first win on the Pro Tour, your first Elite Series win. What was the feeling like going into that final round of knowing that you have a chance at your first win?
Honestly, I just tried to keep myself leveled, and I just told myself like the beginning of the tournament was just to really enjoy disc golf and like have fun with it. Also, just to see how hard I've been working in the off season to see it all pay off. That was kind of the mindset I had. And so I didn't want to get ahead of myself, and I didn't want to say like, oh, well, you can win this if you do this, this is this. I was just like, let's just keep it simple. And let's just focus on that goal of having fun still, because it worked the first 2 rounds. Let's just continue that roller coaster.
Is that typical for
I like
you
that.
going into any round or any final round, or was this kind of like a, maybe this final round is a little bit different, so I really need to focus on staying smoother? Do you just do that every time?
No, I just do that every time, depending on the course. Like if it's an open course like Belton, I don't like try to stay smooth or, try to worry about form so much. I'd rather just worry about distance. But considering it was WACO, I had to worry about like cleaner shots or, throwing softer, but also follow through with my shots.
Mm-hmm. So was there any point during the final round where that, obviously I'm sure it's difficult to do that, but what was kind of the most difficult point to do that? And please don't say your approach shot on hole 17, because we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. Honestly, I felt like the first 4 holes, I couldn't get off the tee like what I wanted to. Hole 1 was, I got off the tee fairly easy, I'd say. But after that, I kind of struggled for the next 3, I felt like. Because like my sidearm, it wasn't on point on hole 4, and I smacked the tree right in front of me. And I was just like, dang, this is not looking good. Like, this is not where I wanted my forehand to be or even my shot to be. Because then I believe I bogeyed that hole, and I was like, okay, I'm not off to a clean start. I felt like the first front 9 is where I struggled a little bit, but after that, I got back on the birdie train.
So on the first 4 holes though at Waco, if you're going to struggle on holes, those are probably the 4 that you want to struggle on, because I mean, sure, you want to birdie all those holes, but par and bogey on those holes is definitely not as bad as when you get deep into the woods and struggling to find your drive or your putt or whatever that may be. So I think that's good. That's not a bad thing, I wouldn't say.
Right. You can get yourself into trouble specifically on hole 4 of those 4 holes. But the first 3, it's hole 1, I guess, with the out of bounds, but holes 2 and 3, you can struggle and still manage par.
Yep.
Where there's some holes in the woods where if you throw a bad tee shot, like hole 12, is that the last hole in the woods?
Yes.
That one, if you throw a bad tee shot, you have to throw 2 excellent scramble shots to get par.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with hole 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah. Hole 9 is very hard.
Yeah.
So Val, when you're standing on hole 5's tee pad, you struggled through the first 4 holes, or at least not executed the way that you wanted to. What are you telling yourself at that point? Is it just kind of whatever, I've already started struggling? Or are you thinking, I already got the bad holes out of the way? Or what are you thinking then?
I honestly started thinking like, I need a birdie. If I want to have any contention of winning, I need to start birdieing. And so my thought was just, okay, well, what do I normally do in practice when my throw throws off? I focus on 2 of the points, which is, my arm matching up with my hips, and then just trusting the shot after that. And that's kind of what I did there. And I kind of just held on to that feeling. I was like, okay, anytime I feel like, I'm getting off my line, just kind of go back to those strengths that I know I have.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting that you say that you tell yourself, I have to get a birdie. Cause I feel like, I'm not trying to compare myself to you, but whenever I do that, it's guaranteed bogey of like, okay, I have to execute this tee shot, yank, 100% guaranteed. Where you, on the other hand, did birdie hole 5. And then in that stretch from holes 5 until 10, you birdied 5 of those 6 holes. So you did exactly what you needed to do and kind of went on a run. What do you tell yourself when you're on hole 11? You're coming off 4 birdies in a row. Do you tell yourself, okay, go for 5, or just are you still thinking back to holes, 1, 2, 3, and 4 where you were struggling, or what are you thinking at that point?
It's like, I need a bogey now.
Right. Yeah.
I need to make things really interesting.
Honestly, I didn't think of really anything like that. What I thought, I didn't even know I birdied all those holes, if I'm going to be honest. I didn't realize I birdied all those holes up until the round was done, and I went back and counted. And then I was like, oh, wow, I actually got a decent amount of birdies in a row. But the following hole, I thought about what that hole was shaped out to be. What shot am I going to throw? What is the highest percentage on this shot to throw it with the wind? And that's kind of what I just worried about that whole round, was not what am I going to do from here, but what shot am I going to do? What was my next shot? What was my next move? How am I going to play this hole? That was really my thought process in that whole round.
So are you one that watches scores and is paying attention to what everyone else is doing? Or are you kind of on your own, just, I need to get a birdie and just keep going from there?
I'm just on my own, really. I just focus on my own game. I would rather count, like, for an example, going to hole 5, I counted how many holes did I bogey. Where am I at? Let's say I was at a +2, and I'm like, all right, I need to get 2 more birdies just to stay at even. That's kind of the game I play. And then if Mason's there, Mason's like, do you want me to tell you where you're at in a certain amount? So we agreed on every 3 holes, he would let me know where I was at.
Okay.
Nice.
Or if somebody was really like making a move on the field.
Sure. So then he probably was talking to you about Katrina, because she shot, what was she?
She tied the course record.
8 through 11, I think she was. Yeah. So
she shot, I think, 8 down that round.
Yeah. What does that do for you? So we'll say that you're on hole 11. Yeah. She was 8 through 11, and you were just coming off of 4 birdies in a row and got a par. So you're on hole 12. You know that Katrina is shredding. You're kind of doing your thing again after finding your way on the first 4 holes. What are you thinking from 12 to 18, kind of that last third of the course? Are you just thinking, no matter what, I had, what was Kat on the 5th card, 4th card?
Yeah.
So you obviously had strokes on her to begin. Are you thinking just play your game, or does that kind of start creeping into your mind that like she is making a move?
Honestly, Mason didn't tell me that she was making that big of a run. him and Owen kind of like talked about it. Owen showed Mason, and she hid the phone, and she was like, "Don't worry about it. Like, go sit over there." And I was like, I kind of just like, after her and Mason were talking about it, I kind of just gave Mason like a nod, like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Nothing you need to worry about." And he's like, "You're fine. Just keep the pace that you're at, and you have nothing to worry about." And so I kind of looked on hole 15, and I saw where she was at, and I was just like, no, that's not the person like I had to worry about, because I seen that 17 and 18, was, I think she finished at that point. Sorry. I think I looked back a couple of holes before that, and I was like, okay, yeah, she still has like 17 and 18 to play with. I don't need to worry about that, or her being, that close to me, because I still have a bunch of birdie opportunities. And I was like, as long as I can, par 17, 18, I'll be fine. Mm-hmm. That was really just the mindset I had. I was like, I just need to be able to keep pushing myself to give myself a chance to win.
So I'm going to kind of push you here on a little bit of what you just said.
Yep.
You said that you wanted to par 17 and 18.
Mm-hmm.
So when you throw a good tee shot on hole 17, that was not an approach for par. That second shot on hole 17 was not playing for par. That was insane.
Okay, so this was before actually throwing that shot. My shot was supposed to be just right of those two trees that are down the fairway of 17, and the wind kind of took it, gave it an air bounce. So the shot I threw, I never practiced. I was always practicing the forehand, but because of the wind conditions, I felt like I had a better chance of a backhand than a forehand at that point.
Nice.
So that wasn't
wow.
Golly, that
so
not
you
only
improved.
Yeah.
So you improvised that shot.
Not only
yes.
was that just a sick shot to hit in that moment, it's also something that you hadn't practiced and hadn't planned on it until you literally walked up and were like, well, I guess I just have to do this.
Yeah, exactly. Just
that's how it goes sometimes.
I seen I think at least two ladies out of my card threw the forehand and almost went OB twice. Like I know Owen went OB, and then Kristen threw the forehand, got swatted down by some branches, but she almost went OB. And so I felt like, okay, if I throw the forehand, it's not making it there, because I don't have, I don't even have 250 in a forehand. I was like, and I need at least 300 foot power. I was like, if I throw the forehand and if it carries, I'm going OB short, and then it leaves me with like a 60 footer. I was like, at least if I go backhand and I try to go as deep as the basket, I'll have a putt for par inside 30.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Throw the forehand to the curb and just trust that backhand all day.
Yeah,
that was insane.
It was gross.
When you're standing there, like I it's so hard for me to imagine, because I've been there and I've looked at that shot and I have been terrified, but I didn't have an Elite Series event on the line. It was just like for fun. The only thing I would lose potentially is a disc, and I still chickened out and threw a sidearm to, like you said, 60 short, because it's just way easier and way safer. What was your mindset on that? Just like, if I just commit, it's gonna be a good shot, or were you just thinking throw it anywhere, or what?
So I felt like the whole course of Waco, if you don't commit, then you're in trouble. And I felt like I learned that in the first round and second round, both times. There was a hole that cost me, I think, a few strokes, where it was like, well, you didn't commit, so that's kind of what you get. And so I kind of had that mindset. And I was like, if I throw the forehand's not really looking good for me. So I kind of just like threw it out the window. And I was like, all right, start from scratch. I'm a better backhand player right now, because my forehand, I'm not feeling it. And so
love it.
Mason even said it. I asked Mason, I was like, what do you think? And the minute he's like, I think you go backhand. I was like, perfect. You read my mind. Like, that was it. And then I was like, okay, this is the goal now. Now, how am I going to throw the shot? Like, I know I'm throwing a backhand, but what disc? And then we were just talking about it. I would throw out a disc. And he's like, no, I don't think that's the right disc. And then I was like, okay, fine. Get away. And he's like, I think that's perfect. And I was like, okay. He's like, you just have to trust it now. This is all up to you. And that was, I didn't think about like, oh, the win is on my hands right now, or this is up for the win. Sorry, I got a message. This is up for the win. I just thought about executing the shot. That's literally was all in my mind. I was like, I just need to get this shot crossed inbound, and I'll be fine.
When you threw that shot, I honestly thought it was a vandal.
Same.
The flight. I mean, just first impression, because I do know that you have bagged the vandal, and it has been a utility disc for you. And I thought for sure that's what that disc was. And then I texted Mason right away and asked him, and he told me get away. And I was like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Like that's
I wanted
insane.
I wanted to throw the Vando, but there was just so much wind. It was just like field touring in this bowl down there on 17.
Yeah.
So I even told Mason, I was like, what about the Vando? And then the wind switched and he's like, oh no. He's like, you can't throw that here. And I was like, okay. He's like, look, there's a lot more wind than what you see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I kind of just like stood staring at the flag and I was like, okay, you're right. And that's when I said getaway. And he's like, that's perfect. He's like, that'll work perfect for you right here.
That's
Totally.
awesome.
Golly.
Yeah, with that left to right and the disc, the getaway fading at the end of the flight,
Right.
that wind is going to push it down just at the right time to secure that inbounds
Yeah.
circle 2 at worst look.
Right.
For
Yep.
sure. For sure.
Dang, you guys are a good team.
Thanks.
Yeah. Does
That was
Mason want to caddy for me anytime? Because I can use that.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's off limits now. I have to secure.
Got him.
Dang it. All right. So when you throw that shot, you see that it's parked. At that point, does it start to creep in your head? I don't think Kristen went OB, but I think
Mm-mm.
She didn't go B, but she had already laid up.
right.
And
Yeah,
Valerie
sure.
already had a 1-stroke lead going into that hole. So she had laid up. So
That's right.
Kristen's getting par at best, and you're looking at a 15-footer for birdie to have a 2-stroke lead minimum
Right.
going into the final hole.
So does that kind of creep in your mind of like, if I make this, whatever it was, 10, 15, 20 footer, you pretty much have the win locked up?
Yeah. Once I threw the shot, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, I could win this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I got super sensitive right there, but I kind of like held back my tears and I was like, suck it up. You haven't won yet. And then I was like, come on. And I was like, I just need to get this putt in, which it was like you guys said, like 12 to 15 feet. So I was like, okay, I can make that. I've been making that all day,
Mhm.
just as long as I keep the nose down. Cause I'm like, hole 2, I got the nose up and missed like a 12-footer, same distance. Cause I just smacked the band.
Mhm.
And I was like, just keep the nose, down and you'll be fine. And then once I made it, I was like, okay, I can win this, but it's not over yet. Cause I remember how 18 place got me, 17, 18 got me last year, where I think I went like 7-6 or something, some big numbers like that. And then, so I was like, I always think about what Paul says, where he says, the tournament's not over until the last putt falls. And that's kind of the mindset I've always had. Even if I have, a 12-stroke lead going into the last, I always think about that. So I was just like focused on the next couple of shots leading up to, the putt.
And 18's no joke, like you mentioned.
No.
Like even that layup on that left side, and then it's the shot into the green. It's
Yeah.
it's not. And then if you go too far, you've got this
Death
daunting death putt looking
Yeah.
at water. So
Yeah.
I respect on how you played that hole. It was great.
Yeah. So
Thanks. Yeah. There was so much wind coming off.
yeah, especially,
Off the water.
because hole 18 would just be like straight headwind. And then when you're
Mhm.
trying to cross the water, it's just left to right. So it's just going to get
A
slammed.
left to right headwind at that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal. Well
So-
played.
What were, aside from aforementioned getaway, I'm just going to answer that for you. What were some of the other kind of go-to discs or most used discs that you helped you win?
Ooh. Honestly, it was like a little bit of a mix of everything. I threw the Maverick, I feel like, quite a bit on some of the holes, the Vando. Those were really my wooded shots I threw, those disc in. And then I threw the Trespass a little bit. And then I also threw, let me think. Honestly, between those and the getaway, I threw the getaway quite a bit. I probably threw it for at least 6 tee shots, if not more.
Okay.
So I threw it quite a bit.
I feel like that's such a WACO answer.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different shot shapes. There's so many different, with having, it plays like a big long circle, and there's so many different shapes in the woods.
Yeah.
And then half of the open holes are straight headwind, half of them are straight tailwind.
Right.
So there's always a condition. There's always something to have.
And Maverick and Vandal make perfect sense in the woods.
Yeah.
For those wooded tee shots. That the Vandal especially. The Vandal's such a good disc
It
for
really
that.
is.
Those wooded, like, just nice, easy hyzer flips that just fly relatively straight.
Mm-hmm.
Easy distance, all that good stuff.
The final question that we've got here for you, Val, was it different going into the final round where historically the FPO division has kind of been, well, Paige is going to win. If Paige doesn't win, Kat wins. And if neither of them win, then they probably weren't signed up. It's obviously not it's getting away from that, where there's more than a handful of women that can compete and win any event that they sign up for. Was it interesting or different not having either of them or both of them on the card going into the final round?
And I'll add one more thing too, having the European women there too,
right?
Because of all of last year, that was kind of an asterisk, so to speak, if the European ladies weren't there. But this field had literally everyone. So,
I played with Paige, I believe, in the second round, and really no, just because I felt like how Evelina and Kristen were there. So then you have Owen in the mix. I felt like everything was pretty solid. Everything was pretty much where it was supposed to be. And then I know Paige was on a couple cards behind us, if not, I think the card behind us. So I was like, she's not out of it. Like the scores were close. I never counted anybody out of it. I was like, everyone could also still pop back in and shoot, a 10 down, let's say, and they could win the tournament. And I didn't focus really on any of that going into the final round. I felt like, I just never focused on that. I always focused on what I wanted to do. So
cool. Very, very cool. Thank you, Val, for joining us. Unless if you guys have any additional final questions.
Well, I mean, you've already got a few practice rounds under your belt for Belton. How you feeling about Belton? Is it like, I mean, the courses are, the two courses are a little bit different, but I would say that there's still a lot of wind at the Belton course, and there's a decent amount of out of bounds, and there's some woods. So, so let's, WACO's way in the past now.
Old news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've moved.
It was still 2 days ago or 3 days ago.
So yeah, what's fresh on your mind? How you doing? How you feeling about Belton?
I'm feeling good. My drive's feeling good. Putt's feeling good. My forehand's just been, honestly, it's just annoying me right now at that point. I'm just frustrated with it, where I'm just like, I'm going to give up on this forehand. I can throw for approaches. It's just the distance shots that are just not comfortable right now. I tend to try to push it too far and I roll my wrist. But besides that, I feel like my game feels strong. Maybe just make a couple of switches in my bag, putting in some beefier disc in my bag right now. But that's pretty much it.
Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Real quick, if you guys want to support Valerie right now, you can go to dynamicdiscs.com and pick up a Getaway or a Dymax with her design on it. Those Dymax came out.
Sick. Very, very cool.
Yeah, they did.
Is there a direct link to those? Do we have any? Is it dynamicdiscs.com/Val or anything?
I don't know that answer, but we can put it in the chat for sure.
Yes.
And then in the description and all that stuff.
If there's not, we will make one and we will put that in the description or the show notes. But like Eric said, for the live audience right now, go to dynamicdiscs.com. You can either search for Val, you can
new releases,
go to the new releases page. There should be something on the homepage. Any and all of those will work. Be sure to follow Valerie on Instagram, support her out on the road on tour, specifically this weekend at Belton.
Okay.
But also everywhere else too.
Yes.
Very last thing. Val, did you know that the sandwich skit, did you know that premiered this weekend on the Disc Golf Network?
I did. Everyone that I knew, I felt like was messaging me about it, and then I watched it, and then me and Mason were there just like laughing, and we were
so good.
Alexis told me, she's like, "Why do you look so mad?" And I'm like, "That's my acting face.
That's my sandwich."
Right. You just took my lunch. What do you mean? Why am I mad?
My brother made a joke about it. My brother's like, "Wow, you love him that much, and you can't even give him your sandwich."
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was like, "Wow." I was like, "It's my sandwich, okay?"
I love it.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
At most, you can give him half, but he just took the whole thing. Didn't
check
even
the bottom slice of bread.
Yeah. Unbelievable, Mason.
Awesome.
I guess we can consider him caddying for you and helping you out and all that stuff is like almost evening out. He probably still owes you a little bit, but
got to carry the bag a little bit more.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Awesome. Once again, cool. Val, congratulations on your win. Best of luck at Belton and the rest of the way out on the road. We will talk to you again very soon. Probably.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
That's right.
See you next week.
Yeah. Gosh, that's next week already.
I'm excited. Yeah, that flew by.
Cool. Thanks, Val.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right. Well, unfortunately, back to us three. You know, there's 2.5 men, the show.
Yeah.
We're like 3.5 because like Danny's behind the curtain. So we're just 3.5 understable men.
Dang.
Hey, at least we have applause.
Dang.
So sick.
Man, we have a live studio audience, just like on 2.5 Men.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be great.
We had an audience last week.
Great to have a laugh track.
We did have an audience last week.
We did.
One man audience. Yeah, and he's still here.
Oh my
There
gosh,
you go.
I'm finding a laugh track ASAP. That would be hysterical.
So the 4 of us, unfortunately, did not win a Pro Tour last week.
To be fair, none of us played a Pro Tour last week.
That's what was holding me back. We did, however, all defeat the longest hole in Emporia slash of the world.
But yeah.
2,700 feet of just park golf.
Of pure arm pain.
Yeah. I think I said it was going to be a par 14.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what you said.
And I shot a 13.
Okay.
Birdie City. Eric,
11, I think.
You got an 11. The goal was 10, but that was an ambitious goal.
I got an 11, and I could have got a 10 easily, in my opinion, if I didn't hit that tree on my 4th shot. I think it was. I had that 4th shot that probably only went like 80 feet.
Your 3rd shot, you kind of overcooked it into some trees. Your 4th shot didn't go very far, and then your 9th shot up and over the trees kind of clipped.
It did clip, but I was just trying to get in position from there.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to get up and down from where I was.
Right.
But
I think if you played that hole 10 times, first of all, RIP.
It's not happening.
Because that's going to suck.
Yes.
But I think you could 10 it more than one time.
Yes. Malachi and I played the hole backwards. And that hole is actually longer.
Ouch.
Danny. If we played from hole 1
new longest hole
Supreme to the long 14 long on Jones West. That hole's just a little bit longer, and it's uphill. It plays longer. But there's less trouble going that way too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So AJ, you and Danny both, I think, shot 14.
Yeah.
And then Malachi was there. Malachi shot a 12.
He got a 12,
I believe.
He got a 12 with an OB.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is.
I got 14 with 2 OBs.
I got a 13 with 1 OB.
Same with Dan.
Yeah, I kept it clean. No OBs for me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys
Which is harder than it looks out there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If you haven't watched the video yet, which is in the chat, go us. Or you can just go to the YouTube channel, and I think it's the most recent video that we've posted.
It should be.
It's long. It's hard. But we played it with street OBs.
Yep. Grass OBs.
Everything else.
Yeah. It was good conditions though. It was a little chilly.
It was kind of sloppy.
But it wasn't windy.
Right.
I'll take slop over wind and cold any day.
I'd prefer neither.
Well, of course, but if you had to choose one.
Well, if we're defining good conditions, today is pretty good conditions. It's a little windy.
It's windy today.
It's a little windy.
Yeah, it's today would not be fun.
Today's warm, at least. Start hole 1 Emporia Country Club and hole 18 Idlewild.
Wow.
Thoughts?
Wow, that's a long drive.
Yeah, am I allowed to throw it into my car and then like drive to the Kansas City airport?
I think so.
And jump on a plane? Because I'll do that.
Full flight.
I commented on the I commented on the video and said that we should play 10 at New Life to 15 at New Life. I think that would just be a fun hole to play.
10 at New Life. Which one is 15?
15 is the one in the far back corner.
Just beyond that pond?
No. The one after that. Through the woods. I'd like to know how far that hole is, and there's a lot of OB between those 2 holes, but I think that would be a sick hole.
I don't know that it would be farther.
No,
there's a lot more OB.
But there's more OB, which would make it play a little longer.
Once you get to that top of the hill, and you can just blast something down.
Yeah, it'd be fun. That's the next hole I want to play.
That should be a thing that we should start doing that, of just long holes.
Do a series of this.
Yeah. I'm interested.
We could make a course. And then we'd have
18 hole course.
Yeah. 18
of just the longest hole at
just 18 different courses.
We've already got one down.
Right.
Yeah.
17 more to go.
New Life is 1,600 feet all the way across.
Yeah.
Okay. A little over that.
That's pretty good.
I'm thinking
I feel like it'd just be like par 7.
Hole 6.
Par 7.
1,600 feet?
Hammond.
What?
We go to Hammond?
Well, once you get to the top of the hill, though.
Because, 1,000 feet's a par 5. 600 feet's par.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we're at Hammond, would you guys want to do hole 1's tee to hole 5's basket or hole 6's tee to the practice basket?
6 to the practice basket would be way more fun.
Yeah. Easy answer.
Yeah.
You don't get to finish the song, man.
Neither. What's your What's your write-in candidate then?
I played
3 to 6.
3 to 6.
Oh, that sounds like fun too.
Yeah.
I played
Except there's a playground in the way, and I don't really want to throw it through.
Yeah,
a
no,
playground.
we're not.
No,
doing
yeah. Road is inbounds. Everything else is out.
Only road is inbounds.
Yeah. So you have to play down the road, and then you have to bomb it across the grass to
the other road, and then you got to make an 80-foot putt, stroke and distance.
Good luck. I did play a very cool safari hole this week. Yeah. Hole. I was at Peter Pan. Cyrus was in town, team kid, and it was hole 13 Peter Pan to hole 15.
Oh yeah,
basket
par 5.
Yeah,
that's a good hole.
I think it's like a par 5.5. I think.
Oh, nice.
I was able to throw a pitch up and make a 5, but I threw a couple pretty good shots.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you're ever there and there's nobody else there, first of all, congratulations, because there's always a lot of people at Peter Pan.
Yeah.
But if you're just looking for
at least
fun
that you're
holes,
playing.
You're playing as the course.
You're playing
goes.
as the course goes.
Right.
Yeah. You're not playing backwards or anything like we did the other day. But
true. Very true.
Can make a dog leg hole at Flint Tech.
Flint Tech.
Yeah.
You could
almost make a candy cane. What is that, like hole 7 that's out there?
You could go like hole 2 to hole 4.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun.
It'd be just a long.
We go 1 to 4.
Right.
Imagine
1 to 5, but you mando around the school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about the middle school?
Middle school, you could probably do something crazy.
Yeah, there'd be something crazy there too.
But then you got to worry about that walking path up along like 4, 5, 6, I think it is.
Anyway.
Football.
So maybe be on the lookout for that in the future. Some more safari hole videos.
It'll
be a year-long tournament.
Right.
Because after each hole, I'm requesting 2 weeks of recovery time.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Minimum.
And actually, I would also like 10 days of like preparation.
Exactly. Yes. You need
after.
Yeah. Let me know.
Afterwards.
Let me know 2 weeks ahead of time, and then give me
So
2
a
weeks.
full month in between, please.
Good luck fitting 18 holes in a year.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I said year-long tournament.
That's 12.
That's
# deal with it.
And we started in March.
Yeah.
Well,
9-hole course. It's fine. Small loop.
Yeah.
This is the inner loop. The longest holes.
y'all are still on that Julian calendar. You need to get on the Alexandrian 18-month calendar. That's a pretty stupid joke, but actually it's kind of smart.
Okay.
It's pretty stupid and smart at the same time.
Hey, so AJ, let me get your thoughts on this. Is it stupid or is it smart? USDGC signed a 5-year deal with Winthrop.
Exactly. It's both because
wait, what?
I didn't even know that they needed a contract or anything.
Right. I assumed that this was
it makes sense that they want to do something like a contract like that, but does it make sense to continue it at Winthrop, the USDGC, or do they find a new venue and I get it, the history, it's historic, you can't play 888, which they don't even play anymore. I guess so. That's even a bad example, but well,
come to Emporia and we'll play 10-10-10.
Well, we have 888. We have an 888 hole in Emporia.
We do.
We will on the Supreme course.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But there's no parking lot you're throwing through or anything like that. So it's not the same. So do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good decision? I guess is the question.
For 5 years, yeah, I think it's a smart. Yeah, I think it's a smart decision for the USDGC / Innova folks because, like you're kind of alluding to, I think
who's it bad for then?
Viewers.
It's bad for the the professionalism of the sport.
Got it.
When you say that their signature hole is playing through a parking lot, it's like, I think we all know that that's what disc golf is trying to get away from.
Got it.
We're trying to go to more of these like private properties and get away from these park. It's like you think of Maple Hill versus Fountain Hills or even Vista del Camino or just.
Look at Eagles Crossing. That's a park designed for disc golf and nothing else.
So yeah, I think it's smart for Innova. I'll just say for Innova because they own USDGC, the name and the event. So it's smart for them because I'm sure that at the end of their contract, people are going to be murmuring. They're going to be murmuring about moving, one of our like most famous major. Mm-hmm. There's already been conversations about that, about what are our majors, our consistent majors, and what's the standard. And there's been a lot of talk on both sides of the argument that USDGC equals Winthrop. And then there's that side of it, but then there's also the side that says like, we should treat this like Worlds or like move something like on the PGA Tour, right? Like US Open on the PGA Tour rotates.
Correct. But the Masters doesn't.
Exactly. So like, and when I've thought about this and talked about this subject to people, I've said, we've got our 4 majors. We have Worlds, which is like the Players Championship or the PGA Tour Championship. You could even say we have USDGC, which is US Open. And then we have European Open, which is like the Open. Mm-hmm. And then we have, my argument is that we have what's now the MVP Open at Maple Hill. And in my opinion, it's just my opinion, I think that Maple Hill is disc golf's Augusta National.
Interesting.
Danny, where's the applause?
Interesting.
Just kidding. But yeah, I mean, I think that if we're going to have a Masters equivalent in disc golf, it's, it has been USDGC and Winthrop. I think it's time to move on.
Cool.
It's interesting that
you make great points.
Okay.
I'm not.
Thank you.
No.
Cool. Moving on.
Cool.
No, I'm not moving on.
Just kidding.
It's interesting that
I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. It's interesting to me that they signed a contract where I think MVP has something like that with Maple Hill, that they're the presenting sponsor for, I think it's like the next 10 years or something. But when I think of Beaver State Fling, I don't think there's a contract. It's just like Beaver State Fling happens every year and it's at Milo every year.
And it's not even an elite series anymore.
Right.
Right. Yeah. They should have signed a contract.
It's almost like Worlds is the only one.
I also think that the spotty cell connection kept them from being an elite series event.
That's what I heard.
For sure. Same with Masters Cup,
which is unfortunate.
Worlds is kind of the only one that does rotate. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if we'll see more official contracts. Like, will there be a contract that says the Dynamic Discs Open will be in Emporia every year, or will it be at the Emporia Country Club every year, or will it be?
I think that's a little different because Dynamic Discs owns that event. Right. You know what I mean? And USDGC is owned by Innova.
But now they have this contract with Winthrop.
They do have this contract to host that event at a certain venue. That doesn't mean at the end of the 5 years that we can be like, hey, we're going to start having USDGC in Emporia, Kansas. I think it's still Innova's to decide where it goes, which is also kind of a touchy situation subject, I guess, for other manufacturers that are not allowed to have a major.
So then is this more of a Winthrop deal? What if
it's more of an Innova deal?
But at the end of the contract, it sounds like, at least from, I don't know how much you know about this. This was kind of breaking news when we went live.
Yeah, I literally when we went live.
So yeah, we apologize if this is all answered within the article.
It probably is.
It's not even on our it's on our Chiron, but it's not on our thumbnail.
So Innova owns USDGC, the event.
They do.
They've signed a contract to run it at Winthrop every year. That contract expires. It sounds like nothing changes for Innova. They just, in theory, could potentially host it somewhere else if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Right. I think
that's the way I haven't read the article, so I can't 100% answer that, but Innova has owned the USDGC since the beginning.
Right.
So there's no way that we can step in and be like, hey, we want to host this event, so we're going to put a bid in for it. So I think at the end of the 5 years, Innova's either going to have a different course in mind, different venue. But if they're signing a 5-year deal, which I don't know if they're paying Winthrop or
that's what I'm thinking,
or what the deal is with that. But kind of back to my majors, like it's still kind of weird. Like we consider it a major, but it's an X major.
Right.
Because of all of the fun and games, so to speak, that they do during it, where they test rules out and they have like different, where they don't get waivers or whatever the case may be, where they can do stroke and distance and do some different unique style of rules during the event, which I kind of, I tend to agree with AJ on. It's confusing for the spectator outside of the normal disc golf.
Yeah.
Disc golfer that's kind of more familiar. Like it's on a college campus, so there's kids around.
Yeah.
If they're watching and they're just happen to be watching, if it's supposed to be one of the most prestigious events, if you have somebody there like, well, wait, that guy just threw past that line, but this guy didn't, and they got the same score. So there's just a little confusion to be had there, right? But
Especially,
but at the end of the day, I don't. It's news, but I don't think it's like, oh my gosh, breaking news.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. The confusion thing that you brought up is totally true, because even if you are somewhat in the disc golf world, you kind of watch every other Jomez video or whatever. If you were to watch USDGC one year and then you come back to it next year and everything's different,
right?
You're like, wait, I thought this was an event that kind of did its own thing, but now they're doing their own thing different, and then they're doing it different, and then it's different. I think it's interesting. I think it's really cool that we have a high profile event to do that, to try different rules and see how different things would work in reality.
But I almost feel like they're not doing it for that purpose now. They're just doing it to be different.
Right. I don't like that it's the quote unquote second highest or most prestigious event that we have.
Second.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
But you said second or most. So I just threw out my
people.
USA #1.
Yeah. I wish that there was an event that like it was
that rivaled it.
It's
for that #2 spot.
Not even if it was like the All-Stars that the Pro Tour does.
MVP Open, bro.
But I don't
it doesn't
want it to
though. The MVP Open, it's a fantastic venue. It's a sick course. It's an awesome event.
I am fine with MVP.
It does not rival the title of US Open.
Right.
Of USDGC, in my opinion.
Which I think is kind of interesting.
I think that what I'm thinking
That's fine.
Well, I take umbrage with that fact, sir.
That's fine.
In my head, I'm thinking we have a high profile event dedicated to the purpose of it is we're going to experiment with rules. The players are still going to go. So like the All-Star event would be a great spot for it, where
absolutely
all the top players are there, and we're just going to see what happens. But like MVP Open, Dynamic Discs Open, any of these high-profile disc golf Pro Tour Elite Series events, people are going there to try and win it for the title. And I think that the U.S. Championship should be the same as everything else, like the European Championship.
And it's still a major,
right?
Even if it is an X major, it's still a major under your belt.
Right, which is odd to me. I feel like that aspect of USDGC should be kind of taken out and moved to a different event.
Yep.
Sort of like the Pro Tour Championships where they have the match play.
That feels like a major.
Right, but it's not
even sanctioned
officially, right? Because it's match play.
Yeah, and it's a selected few that even get the honor to play in it.
Right, and I think if they did that, All-Star event would be a great spot for it. Match play would be a great spot, or the Pro Tour Championships would be a great spot for it. Because I do really like that's where we can test with things like shrinking the baskets or stroke and distance OB, or playing with new bunker rules or 2 meter rules or new Mando rules or inbounds, out of bounds. Like you can experiment with all that stuff in real time and actually have the elite players competing under those rules.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
without it mattering.
And quote, it's not just confusing for the spectator. I've been at USDGC many, many times, and every single year I'm there, if somebody throws past an OB line, they always pull out the caddy book to see, oh, well, what is it on this hole?
Yep.
So it's not just confusion, in my opinion, for the spectator, but it is for the player as well.
It's probably almost more confusing for the player because the spectator might not even notice.
Yeah.
They might just think, oh, they ran out of yellow rope, so they used red and not know a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Side note though.
Good topic.
You mentioned, you mentioned post production in the same breath as the USDGC. So you just triggered like 10,000 people, 10,000 disc golf fans.
How so?
Because
they put it behind a paywall?
Yeah. And there's no post-produced coverage
of USDGC.
From last year's USDGC that's out on the YouTube, right?
AJ, I'm going to directly talk to the 10,000 people for a moment. You can buy my apology on pay-per-view for $19.99 coming this weekend. If there are 10,000 people
sponsored by Innova Champion Discs.
Sponsored by whoever. If 10,000 people want to pay $20 to see me apologize.
Oh man.
We'll make it a big old deal. Kind of like LeBron and his announcement.
Oh, the announcement.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right.
But that's a thing, right?
I'm taking my talents
the post-production from the USDGC is nowhere to be found.
Is it because it wasn't filmed?
I can't. Because I can't remember.
The only thing that was filmed was live, but it was behind a paywall, right? It wasn't a part of the disc. It was a part of the Disc Golf Network, but you had to pay extra. It was an
additional charge.
Even if you were involved, even if you had this subscription, you still had to pay more.
Correct.
That's right. I do remember that.
Yeah.
It seems like every tournament that we have besides that one now has post-production.
For sure.
Like 4 cards of post-production.
Yeah, not just like lead card anymore. It's like...
Right, you get lead.
You can watch people play really bad.
So yeah, I'm about to trigger myself when I'm thinking about how there's no post-produced coverage available to watch of.
All right.
Yep.
Before you get mad, AJ, I'll save you from yourself. We're going to move on to 2 squad questions. We've got 1 disc golf. We've got 1 non-disc golf. We've got more than that, but we're going to do 1 of each. Eric, disc golf, non-disc golf first. What do you want?
Eric, the people want to know.
Non-disc golf question first. Okay.
We've been talking about disc golf this whole time.
This one comes to us from Evan.
Evan. What's up, Evan?
Evan says, McDonald's, Wendy's, or Burger King. I'm going to alter Evan's question a little bit and say that we have to rank them.
Yummy.
First, second, worst. Not third.
Is this just
worst.
For like food in general?
I think it's kind of whatever you want. If you want to go fries versus fries, you can. If you want to go overall versus overall.
I'm just going to go overall, and these are my 3. Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King. Those are my 3 in a row.
Man, this is a tough one.
And Wendy's is number 1, obviously, just for their social media presence.
Their social media is
on point.
Well, then Frosties. I would give McDonald's the top spot for
that's perfectly fine
for snagging Justin Timberlake to right there.
Psycho clown. Grimace.
Do you not remember
what is that?
The Burger King video games?
Who the hell is that guy?
Yeah, the king too. Goon. Like, come on.
Didn't even mention the Hamburglar. That's
so you're going McDonald's and it just doesn't matter after that?
He stole my hamburger.
I mean, I love that they put this like frozen faced king. They made that whole mask. Yeah. Burger King did that for their.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah. But no, if we're talking about the food.
That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the.
Not talking about the mascots.
You got to rank them by play place.
In that case.
No, food. Go.
Okay, food. Crud. I think I'm going to agree. Oh, shoot, man. This is tough. This is because they're all multifaceted. Shoot.
Okay.
But like.
Do you need time to think, AJ?
I don't know. I think.
Yeah, you go. And
I think between the last 2, you can go back and forth. But I think Wendy's is number 1.
Wendy's is number 1 for me, pretty much strictly based on the Frosty.
Facts.
Like.
Fact.
McDonald's
and the
Burger
square
King.
Burgers.
Right. Don't cut corners.
Okay.
Second.
Don't cut corners.
I think I'm going Burger King second.
Okay.
And then McDonald's third. I could flip flop those 2. I haven't been to either one.
That's the only answer.
I don't know how long. I haven't been to Wendy's and don't know how long. Oh, I got to go with McDonald's second because they got Shamrock Shakes.
Only once a year.
No, that's tomorrow.
But that's more than the 0 times a year Burger King has them.
That's true. But
okay, yeah, I'm with Eric. Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King. Pretty much, you can tell where my priorities are.
Yeah.
Milkshakes. I don't often get, but hey, there's a chance now today.
Frosties.
Okay, I will go McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King.
Okay.
Because
So
I'm right there with AJ, honestly.
McDonald's number 1.
Big Mac and
why?
Yeah,
just because they're the biggest?
Big Mac and shoestring fries.
Okay,
And
hold on.
McDonald's is far more consistent than either one of
Ooh, I
Wendy's or Burger
disagree
King.
with
Yeah,
that.
actually McChicken too.
McDonald's McChicken is really
They're
good.
consistently bad, so you are right there.
Okay, Wendy's might have the odd meal where it's like slightly better than the average McDonald's experience.
Spicy chicken,
Yes.
nuggies.
But sometimes I go to
Spicy
Wendy's
nuts.
and I leave and I'm just sad
Why?
because the food is just falling apart.
To be fair,
It's awful. It's not good.
to be fair, Danny, if I go to any of these restaurants, I probably leave sad. Let's be honest.
Full but sad. That's a fair argument, actually. Also, McDonald's fries are unrivaled. Wendy's fries have increased in quality lately, but McDonald's fries are still the S tier fries, and they will remain.
I'm going to be that guy though. I don't care what the fries taste like because I can dip them in my Frosty.
There you go.
Oh,
I'm having an internal debate over here because
Okay.
AJ said Big Mac. And I forgot how disgusting Big Macs are.
Yeah, so therefore it drops them to number 3.
I might have to go Burger King second because
Dairy Queen pops in there too now.
But McFlurries.
yeah, y'all are. I mean,
but the ice cream machine's always broken.
y'all are forgetting Carl's Jr.
Hey, how many
No,
cars?
we
slash
have
Hardee's.
Hardee's. It's Hardee's. You're in Kansas now. You have to say Hardee's.
I didn't
Carl's Jr. doesn't have the hot roast beef either.
Sorry,
Hardee's
Sorry,
does.
Mom.
You're thinking of Arby's.
So
Yeah, wait.
they've got the meats.
Now
Also Arby's.
Now Arby's is in here.
Arby's is in the mix now. Well, they support disc golf, so let's bump them to
That's
number 1.
true.
Arby's social media game is
Yes.
with Wendy's.
Yes.
Okay, somebody's saying like Culver's, Chick-fil-A. That's a different tier of
Right,
fast
right,
food.
right,
That's
right.
not even
Yeah,
this
right.
argument.
Yeah, those are obviously all above. That's
Different
not
discussion entirely.
not
Yeah,
what we're
that's like
talking
saying,
about.
hey, let's rank IPAs, and then it's like, no, dude, we're talking about
Busch Light.
We're talking about
Coors
Bud Light, Coors
Right,
Light,
yeah.
Michelob Ultra.
Right, yeah.
We're talking about you're sad and you want food. Like, where are you going?
Oh man.
Sonic.
Ooh.
I've been going to Sonic.
I have never
a
not
lot.
gotten gas after Sonic.
Corn dogs?
Is there like a gas station right near there? Or is it because
Gas prices these days.
let's get out of
New
here.
audio sting. New audio sting.
No. We're not that show. We are not doing that. Jason has a question.
What is that show?
Jason has a question for all of us.
All right, Jason.
Jason wants to know how many career aces does everyone have?
Who counts? Who even counts, though?
Yeah, I lost track a long time ago.
I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
8.
Sweet.
Nice.
I think, but yeah, like AJ said, I honestly
really don't
probably
know.
stopped counting after like 4.
How about what's your favorite ace? That's better.
My,
I have
Right?
2.
I'll go first.
Okay.
My favorite ace
Danny's is
was
sick.
old hole, the hole that teed up by the pool at Country Club.
1.
Yeah, it was hole 1.
Old hole 1.
I think it was like hole 8 or something when I was playing it on the loop. But it's like, it's way up there and it's 555 feet and about 100 feet downhill to like a peninsula green. And I had the perfect wind and I sent a defender and I didn't even hear it hit the chains. It just clonked in the basket and somehow didn't fly out. But yeah, I've never birdied that hole because we took it out. So I either like forward it or aced it.
Or
and that's
won.
all I have.
Perfect.
Wow.
AJ, favorite ace?
That's a cool ace.
Yeah, it's
That's a
nasty.
good ace. That's a good
That's
ace.
a nasty
That's a
one.
good one.
I don't want to go. Yeah,
do you want me to follow?
We're
that
going
up.
in row here.
I
We're
can
going in
follow.
order.
No, this is gonna. I have so many. It's hard to pick with just one. Shoot, man, dang, bro.
Cool. I'll go.
Yeah.
So
Please.
my favorite, my latest ace was on hole number 1
Yep.
on the Supreme course.
Very
but
cool.
My favorite of all
Pretty good.
time is my favorite course actually in Sweden, Skellefteå, Sweden. I played a tournament up there. We went up to do some media around the course, and they just happened to have a tournament going on at this course that has 81 holes on the complex.
God.
81 holes. So it was the 81 hole disc or 81 hole challenge.
No thanks.
And a majority of the holes are a little bit shorter. It's not like a lengthy, like 800-foot holes or anything like that, but
I would
81
hope
holes
not.
still. We started at like 7 a.m. and I think we finished at midnight. And
What?
yeah, but the sun never goes down in Sweden. So, but we got to the very, 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 very last hole. And this whole time I'd been trying to ace.
Uh-huh.
And I turned to my group and told them, this is my last chance for a Swedish ace. And I aced.
Bonk.
Gosh.
Bam.
Did yours also clunk into the basket?
No, mine was just dead center chains.
Oh, smack.
Yeah. Just It was cool. That's definitely my favorite.
I don't know that favorite is the right word, but I kind of have two. My most memorable is probably my only tournament ace when I wasn't in the ace pot.
Oh,
blind hole, river, Rosedale, up and over a hill.
Definitely not your favorite ace.
Heiser. Blind, never played the course. Yeah. Blind hole.
Probably hole 7.
Course blind.
6?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
In the basket. We didn't even know till we got up there. The other one was I was playing a course back in Illinois with a friend, and hole 1 is it's probably 180 feet, and there's 2 trees probably 4 feet apart, maybe 20 feet short of the basket, and you just can see through the only thing you can see between the trees is the basket, and if you split them, it's pretty much in. So I did that. Smack. Got it. Said, I wonder if I can do that again. Threw a hyzer around the trees. Stacked.
No way.
Whoa.
Stacked it.
That's sick.
That is pretty.
Someone asked in chat, how are we counting aces? Nasty. And my opinion is anything, any first shot from the tee pad that goes in the basket counts. A second shot doesn't, but it doesn't have to be in a league round or a sanctioned round or something. Anytime it was your first throw, your first try on that hole.
I don't know.
I'm counting my second.
Yeah, sorry, Tony.
I'm counting that, dude.
I mean, okay, that's extenuating circumstances.
Right, that's the thing is it's 180 feet, so it's not oh, dude, that's so far. Danny's was 550.
Yeah.
And it was okay, yeah, I aced it one time. Cool, great. But then I did it again.
Yeah.
But then people are oh, it's your second shot, doesn't count.
No, that's extenuating circumstances.
Kind of don't care. I'm counting that as
360-foot ace.
But if there's a hole 2 at Hammond, if you just go there and unload your bag and you're oh, I got 5 aces today.
Yeah, no, you didn't. It's kind of dumb.
You threw it in the basket 5 times.
That's
from the
pretty
tee.
sick. Congratulations, way to go.
Yeah.
I remember my favorite one now.
You don't have to explain it in that voice.
I remember. 2018 Flyer Open in San Diego. And to start the second round of the tournament at one of my home courses, Bringle Terrace, I aced the first hole of the round, the first hole of the course. It was a 400 foot uphill ace with the mango, just full flex.
I feel did you have a video of that one?
Yep.
I feel I've seen that. I remember that.
Central Coast. Ian was there, and yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
Super sick.
So cool.
Also, I'd like to say real quick, most aces are bad throws. They were overthrown.
Not my second.
Fair.
The perfect disc golf shot lands 10 feet short of the basket and slides up.
Not if you're trying to ace. If you go out to a course to try to ace, then it's the complete opposite.
If you're trying to say that you're better than someone because you have more aces,
right.
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Right. The number of aces that you have is not an indicator of
skills
at all. No, it just means that you can throw.
Just means you're lucky.
X distance, and you've tried many times.
I'd rather be lucky than good.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I would usually I usually tell people, I play for birdies.
Yes.
Right.
That's usually my excuse.
Well, how many birdies do you have?
3,576.
I actively keep track of those aces.
I keep track of my birdies. I got eight aces, and then
wait,
a few thousand birdies.
Wait. Are we talking about sanctioned play?
Are we talking about second shot birdies?
Did you take your second throw? Yeah. The one that went into the basket?
Now answer my question.
So what about mulligans? During leagues that have mulligans and you ace the second one. Does that
if
count?
You're playing,
so you don't get the ace pot? That's what I'm asking about.
Ooh,
I think if you would get the ace pot, I think it counts, yeah. Okay. Or if you're playing Cali.
Yeah, Cali, that's a whole nother one.
I don't know.
I don't care. To me, if you throw your second shot, it's an ace. Maybe you shouldn't count it towards your total ace count if you are that person that counts your aces.
Right. I so don't care about this. And the people that do care about this, there's a few
probably have 4 aces.
Right. It's either people that have no aces and just want their first, or the people that have 564 aces.
True.
Because
I really don't have an argument, or it doesn't bother me.
I'll tell you what, though, if we're playing doubles and the ace pot is anything over $50 and you are Cali and you're just by yourself, before we head out to the first hole, I'm going to make it a point to say hey, you only get the ace pot if you ace on your first throw off the tee.
Okay.
So I mean, because I've a doubles league where that would happen a lot.
Right. If that's the rule for the league, then that's the rule. I want your guys' opinions AJ, you and I are playing doubles.
Battling.
We're together against Eric and Danny. We are.
You guys lost.
Smoking them. It's like hole 2, and we've got them by like 5 or 6 already.
Dang, Danny, did we not show up the whole one?
Yeah, you guys got a par plus 4.
That's my bad. I ate Sonic. I was
AJ, you ace hole 2.
Nice ace, dude.
Ace spot's $100. At the end of the round, the TD gives you $100. What do you do?
I look at you and like, you want 50 of this? And then you're like, no, I'll just take 10. And then I'm like, sweet.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I hate that.
What, you split the ace pot with your partner?
Unless it's discussed. Hey, you
I hate no.
It's usually discussed.
But if you're my partner and you ace, I did nothing for that. Don't give me. That's not
What if
my
you
money.
Unless, what if you laid up?
Yeah.
You're under the
Support,
basket.
you
AJ's
jerk.
like, all right, I'm going for it.
If that's a thing of like,
Yeah.
hey Eric, I'm going to lay this up so you can run it.
Yeah.
Sure, but if we're just playing doubles and AJ throws, aces it, I do not get $50 for that.
It's like it's not expected. I would say it's like a.
Right.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate. Like you wouldn't expect.
When
If
I
you turn
first-
around, and you hold out your hand. You're like, okay, pay me. It's like,
Right.
come on.
Yeah. That's the thing is like, I might not give you $50 or I'll say like, or I will accept your denial of said $50,
Right.
but we're going out to dinner afterwards and I'm paying because I just aced and got the ace pot.
But why?
I'll buy your dinner because I'm rich.
So this weekend, Val won at Waco because
She probably bought Mason and Alexis dinner.
right, but she didn't.
Guy.
She didn't do anything for Kristen. She didn't do anything for any of the other girls that she was playing with or against. Because like,
How do you know?
she won that. Okay,
That's a little
Sorry,
different.
yeah,
That's a little
sorry,
different.
continue,
Winning
continue,
versus like hitting an ace when you're playing doubles. Like when I was first playing leagues and all that around here, it was expected to either split or bring beer next week. And that's just
Maybe
different areas, and maybe they don't do
Right.
that in Illinois, but that's something that is done around here.
maybe
And
I'm
apparently wherever AJ's played most of his career in
right.
California.
I think
Nova Scotia.
that's.
A?
I think it's just
What?
that I am just too casual of like, I that's not my money.
Yeah.
I didn't throw that shot. You did. Like
Now I think it's more, hey, if it's a huge ace pot, if it's $1,000 ace pot, like $100, yes, you're 100% right. But if there's $1,000 ace pot on the line and we're going out, probably going to try to hit this ace, I'm going to ask my partner, do you want to split? Like if you hit it, you give me 30% and vice versa. You know?
right, yeah. If you establish it, then that's
That's what
completely different.
yeah, absolutely. But it should not be expected now.
right, especially like even if it's $20, like if it's $1,000 and AJ and I are both just ace running everything because we want $1,000,
Mm-hmm.
and then AJ hits it. Now what? He gets $500. Like the goal was
Nice,
for us.
dude.
The goal was for us to ace run this thing and get $1,000 ace pot. AJ did that. I didn't.
Yeah.
If I aced again later in the round, then we each split the pot and
Mm-hmm.
get $500. Yeah, that makes sense. But
It needs to be talked about before. And I think the majority of people probably will split if it's asked.
I'll tell you
It depends on who your partner is too.
right, and like I'm not talking about 51 where if somebody
No,
hits the middle,
5 and 1, which I
whatever. I'm not talking about that. I don't know. I don't agree with that. I don't.
that's fine.
Unless you establish-
Hey, you don't have to agree with it.
I do not.
You don't have to.
Unless you straight up establish it and say, I'm going to lay this up.
Yeah.
You ace run this hole.
Mm-hmm. Or if it's
Maybe.
established before the round.
But if we're just playing and we're trying to score the best round of doubles that we can, and AJ just happens to throw one in, like I do not earn or deserve 1% of whatever it is that you get paid for that shot.
Oh, you guys are a team. What if you go out and play like hot garbage and he birdies every hole? Do you deserve the win?
No.
So if you play doubles with him, you're going to give him your
I
winnings?
see what's going on here.
What's going on here? You saying that I play like
You
hot
better
garbage?
give me $50 when you ace. Son of a.
You're going to be waiting for a long
I
time.
see
Here
right
is my
through. I
Venmo.
see right through you.
Yeah, you do see right through my abilities to not ace anything, AJ.
Once we flip those discs and they hit the ground, we are
one person.
we are brothers. Right.
right.
Webster defines the word partner as I don't have that one ready. Shoot.
Eric.
Danny,
Yes.
can we get that on the crawl there?
No.
Come on.
No.
Player of the week.
Oh, that's good.
From you,
Oh, that's
Mr.
right. It's me.
Eric
It is me.
McCabe.
Yeah, wait. Tony, why haven't we mentioned the skip ace standings after Waco? What's up? What's up, buddy?
Have they updated them?
What's up, buddy?
Have they updated them? Because
Yes.
I've looked at the last few days and they haven't.
Right.
Johnny.
Boys, we're on to player of the week. Eric, if you could please immediately start talking about anything other than skip ace.
So what happened in Skip Ace?
Oh, no.
Goodness. All right, we'll talk about player of the week first, and then we'll come back. We'll circle back to this.
If you say James Proctor is your player of the week, I'm leaving.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. James Proctor took one for the team and decided not to play Waco.
Uh-oh. Hi, my name's Eric
That's
McCabe.
fine.
I can mute it.
I can sign. I know one thing, and you probably don't want me to sign that.
Please
so.
no.
So no, my player of the week is probably going to be very, very obvious. It is Valerie
Yeah.
Mandujano.
Yeah.
And more importantly, it was Valerie's shot on 17 that we have already discussed and talked about. But my goodness, that's
insane.
In the final round, I think it was a 10-16 rated round, which happened to be her highest rated round of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was. And she was also the only FPO player to birdie hole 17 the final day.
That's sick.
Wow.
Which is huge. And not only did she do it, but she did it under, extreme pressure.
And conditions.
Yeah. Yeah. Conditions were, at least the final day was probably one of the nicer days. I think it was a little windier. I think day 2 was probably the absolute nicest day, but compared to the first day,
Brutal.
first day was like going outside here in January. Like it was miserable looking out there. It was windy. It was 30 degrees. It was nasty. But Valerie is absolutely going to be my pick for player of the week. Obvious reasons. I think had any of us probably had it this week, probably would have been Valerie.
Yep. It's still mind blowing to me that that's like not a shot that she even considered in practice.
Yeah.
She just, hole
I'm
17,
here.
final round of a disc golf pro tour, and I'm winning by 1. Hardest shot on the course. May as well go for it.
Yeah. And yeah.
Haven't practiced this one, though.
Yeah.
But to be fair for her, that's how you win tournaments too.
Right. Well, and
Yeah,
when
to
you're
be fair for her, she's really good.
right, when you're
she
that good,
is.
you can do those things. For me, that's how I'm 50 feet in the water.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Absolutely.
Kristen had already pretty much established she's only getting a part best.
Right.
At that point. So and Valerie's mindset was if I go OB, I have a 20-footer for my par and I don't lose any strokes.
Right.
Not that takes away from the shot or the shot selection because that was just phenomenal.
Yeah, and I don't know how many strokes I would need to be 100% confident in that situation that no matter what, I'm winning this.
Yep.
It's definitely double digits.
Oh yeah.
For me to know, no matter what happens, like I'm winning this event,
Mm-hmm.
it would have to be knowing how difficult that shot is, plus how hard it can be. Like if she flips that over and goes OB early, or if she doesn't flip it up and goes OB left early, how difficult that approach is, plus how difficult hole 18 is, both off the tee and into the green. Gosh, unbelievable
Yes.
shot. Very well deserved. Who
Pretty sick.
are you going to nominate for next week?
Okay, but
I'm going to nominate myself. I'm just going to continue doing this for the rest of the year.
I would say that's not how this works, but I already picked the entire Jomez staff.
Oh, that's right.
Just like
Johnny McRae 2 weeks in a row.
picked an NFL player. Yeah, there's not really rules
No,
to
there's
this
It's
thing.
actually a player this time.
It's true.
Yeah, I picked a player. I've only picked players.
A bit of an easy choice.
I
but
picked a player. Terry Miller plays.
What do you mean
disc
an
golf.
easy choice?
it's fine. It's good.
I was going to pick Danny, but now I'm picking Anthony.
Oh, dang it.
Anthony,
back
you're the
to your
man.
boy. Let's go.
Anthony, you're the man. Next week.
I got this.
is he the man or is he your boy?
I've picked player of the week
He's
one
my boy.
time.
All right, Danny, I'll nominate you.
my man.
You can have it next week.
No,
So-
I didn't realize. Don't mean anything by it. I just looking at I have a spreadsheet of all the players of the week we've ever done. I picked the first one, and it's not been me since.
Okay, it's back. We'll go back to Danny.
I probably did it poorly then.
Who did you pick?
Matty O.
Well, you picked Johnny McRae too 1 week, right? Didn't you? Because Johnny McRae went back-to-back weeks, and I
Johnny
believe
McRae
you
went
were one of them that picked him.
I might have been.
Yeah,
I don't have anything for episode
Hey,
15, but
Forget it, Danny.
All
It's
right.
mine.
take
Yeah.
it.
I'm
Go for
keeping
it.
it.
I don't mean to take it from you. Go. You got it.
I'm gonna pick Danny and then nominate AJ.
Dang.
AJ,
So
make the skip ace brief, bud. Just
Yeah, let's hear
blaze through this thing.
Let's hear
Please.
it.
We're running.
I don't even know what it is.
low
I'd like to know.
We're
I haven't-
very-
every time I've tried to look at results, it
on
hasn't
razor
been.
thin on time here.
okay, yeah.
That's all the time we've got. Actually,
Oh,
dang it!
man.
It's skip ace was a thing. We'll have.
Yeah, what kind of razors are you using, buddy?
Yikes.
Okay, here we go. Looks like. Yep.
Oh, there it is.
Eric McCabe,
Please stop
what's up?
scrolling.
overall first place
Please stop scrolling.
by a lot of points.
How many do I got?
You have over 100. Like you have like 100. You have 131
Did I go
point lead.
3-0 the first week, and then
Oh,
Yeah, you went 3-0 the first week, 3-0 the second.
oh, sick. So
This week Waco was pretty much a replay of Vegas.
I dropped a player on Monday morning, so if anybody wants to go pick up a pretty good player, he's
I dropped a player this morning.
Oh, well.
fancy.
yes.
Afternoon. It was this afternoon.
I had to pick
So,
up.
yeah.
I had to pick up Joel.
So Eric had
yeah.
Chris Dickerson, Adam Hammis, Kevin Jones, Nico LaCastro, Gannon Burr, and Bradley Williams.
Yep.
Adam
Pretty good.
Hammis was the lowest finishing with 77 points. Or the highest finish.
Both. Yeah.
It's a pretty solid lineup. Gannon Burr was doing really well.
Yeah.
Nico did great. I didn't see Bradley on like coverage or anything, but I
Bradley
guess
was
he
there.
Did really well.
He finished poorly, I think, the last
Yeah.
few holes was what it
got
was,
him.
but he played well. Yeah.
Nice. So AJ had Simon Lizotte, Calvin Heimberg, Chandler Fry, Ben Calloway. He was doing really well towards the end.
Yeah.
How do you get 60 points? Where did he finish?
That's what place they got, I believe.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. That's what those aren't points. Those are the place that they finished.
That would make a lot more
Well, they're
sense.
points, and
wouldn't it?
we're trying to get
Yeah.
as
Because the
few
winner
points.
wouldn't get 1 point, right?
They would. We're going for the fewest points.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
going for we should do that. We
the
should have
winner does
an
get-
extra account where
It's
we
like-
try to get the worst finishers.
It's like
I
golf,
thought that was.
Eric.
I thought that's what we were
love
doing.
that.
Oh man, I would just
love
have
that.
myself
I've been winning.
on the team.
Right, but they have to play.
Oh.
You can't go with Tony's route. and-
Never mind.
Oh, that's you can't go with Tony's route where you have 8 people not playing.
I draft Paul Macbeth, myself, Danny.
He's got Paul Macbeth, and then literally nobody else played the tournament.
Yeah.
Hey, but shout out to Luke Humphreys though, man.
Dude,
Dude,
Shout out to
crushed
Luke
it.
Humphreys.
has anybody picked up Luke yet? Because I'm about to.
I was this close to picking him up, but I picked up Cam Colglazer instead for Texas State.
That's smart.
hopefully.
So
That is smart.
Yeah, so,
he
okay, so-
probably won't show up, and then you don't want to be on his team.
Yeah, no, you really don't.
Yeah, Luke is he's leading
He's
the
leading the point
Yeah,
series.
point
Yeah,
series
he
for
is.
the Pro Tour.
He
Yeah.
sure
Wow.
is.
as most people predicted coming into the year.
yeah, obviously.
Well, but yeah, I got some notes from like Waco stats. If
Hit me.
we're gonna
Hit him real
the
quick.
MPO
Go
side.
rapid fire.
Okay, Paul Macbeth. Here we go. He was first in total strokes gained and first in birdies. He had 30 birdies out of 54 holes. Second in greens in regulation, circle 1 and circle 2. First greens in regulation first, or circle 1 first was Aaron Gossage, and circle 2 the greens in regulation first was Calvin Heimberg. And Calvin was also
Last in putting then?
Calvin. Right, here we go. Yeah. Here's this line. Calvin was first in fairway hits and circle 2 in regulation, 105th in circle 1X putting.
Ouch.
Equals a tie for 16th place.
Bummer.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And then I think that Calvin stat, and then Paul going 91% circle 1X putting, which put him 5th for the tournament. He was 30 out of 33 for circle 1X putts, and only made 2 circle 2 putts. and yet first in birdies. So so we've talked, this has been a consistent topic on this show about like what's more important, driving or putting.
Right.
Driving, putting. Putting. So
I mean, look at, it's not the best example given how round 3 went, but Evelina through 2 rounds was first in FPO for driving stats, green and regulation, fairway hits, all that stuff. She was leading and also leading the event while also being dead last in putting.
Made 0 putts the first round, right? Or was it the first 2?
She's still last in circle 1 putting.
Right. Yeah. But she didn't give herself many circle 1 putts. Like round 1, I think like everything was a tap in. She just parked everything. And then round 2, I think it was like the same thing, but she made some circle 2 putts. And then round 3, she just didn't quite have a day for herself.
It happens.
But she was in the lead, dead last in putting.
Yeah. Crazy.
Team drives.
Pretty interesting. And then
I'm team putts.
Well, you're demonstrably wrong at this point.
I don't care. I don't care what you think.
Given my cherry-picked statistics, I
don't care about UDIS statistics when it's random people out there throwing these statistics in. I've been out there watching this and seeing, oh, that's not the fairway, and look online, oh, on the fairway, or way off on the left side of the fairway, like not on a fairway. Oh, look, she's on the fairway.
Well,
you know, it's just, what? So, whatever. I would much rather make all my putts. Personally, that's just me though.
Last shout out, Chris Clemens.
Oh yeah, he did good.
Well done.
He did. He got third place. Him and Joel
tied for third. Only one OB stroke. One OB stroke.
That doesn't surprise me. That Chris would play well at WACO. I feel like that course is about hitting gaps, hitting lines, being consistent, and being in the fairway. And Chris is one of the best at that.
Well, he's also, in my opinion, WACO is the more challenging holes are definitely lefty friendly. And he 100% has a sick forehand as well.
Right.
That would rival any righty backhand.
Yeah.
So he's got it all for sure. But like, for instance, 17 comes to mind. I would much rather be a lefty on that hole than a righty.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like there are a lot of the holes in the woods are kind of left to right shaped, not taking anything away from Chris.
And I'm talking more of the open holes that are more challenging for these players. Cause like even the first one out of the woods,
tough for a lefty.
Yeah. I mean, but it's a par 3. He can get a 3 on it.
Right. But you walk up to that hole and you want to birdie it.
Sure, you do. But
feet.
I mean, every other hole that's in the open is.
Did he do it?
I don't know. You'd have to look. In my opinion, every other hole on that's more open is definitely got a wider, more safe finish, especially with the way the wind was moving that week for a lefty hyzer than it would be for a backhand turnover.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it starts
in the woods. I think in the woods, it's pretty neutral as far as righty lefty goes. He did have an eagle on 7. Sick. Which is a very much lefty hole or forehand.
Oh yeah, the big putt.
Yeah, across the dam or across the ravine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think, props to Clemens for sure.
I think it starts hard for a lefty. 1 and 2, I do not want to be lefty. 3, I think there's a lefty.
Yeah, but if you have his forehand is what I'm getting at.
Right.
You can be a lefty if you have his forehand.
Right.
On that hole, that's nothing for him.
Pretty advantageous to have like a 450 backhand. Oh, and also just a 450 sidearm.
Yep.
Does not matter.
Exactly.
As long as the hole is shaped, any shape.
Correct.
He can hit it.
Yep.
So,
and he was parked.
Big on hole 1?
Hole 1, second round.
I wonder if he went up the middle or like big hyzer.
I assume up the middle.
I would think
he even missed a putt for birdie.
You don't want to get it up in the wind.
On round 1.
Dang it, Chris. Still finished tied for third, had a great showing. I think that's the highest.
We love you.
Or no, he
finished second a few years ago, but it's definitely his best showing in a while
lately. Yeah,
for Elite Series events.
Yep, big congratulations to Chris. Obviously, like we said before, big congratulations to Val on her win at WACO. We will be seeing everybody at Texas States. I don't know what the plan for the show is while we're there. We will be in Texas on Tuesday, and the internet situation is questionable, we'll say. There's potential that we'll be able to do a live show. There's potential that we will just do an off-air show. We will figure that out and let everybody know next week. So be sure to stay tuned to the Dynamic Discs social media outlets, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of those things. And we will post there when and if we are able to go live, or where you can find the show once it's been recorded and uploaded. Eric?
Yeah.
Appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, my pleasure.
AJ? I appreciate it, dude. Danny?
My pleasure as well.
I appreciate it, dude.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate you, Anthony.
And to our live studio audience, man, we appreciate you guys.
Thanks
too.
for sticking around.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.